KvK allies have been announced. We are ready to go. So stick around because we're going to go through how this plays out with 2377, 2489, us and 606, and then you've got 3251 in there as well. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chadsky, and I put out videos all the time. And if you enjoy those videos, throw a like on there. And if you would be so kind, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. You can get the alerts that we have every time we put out some content. You get an alert about it, and it works and helps out the channel so well. Well, we are getting into KvK on my main, and we are queued up for King of All Britain. We got our opponent at reset just recently, and it took a while because we're now going on 14 hours and the allies have finally been decided. So here are the kingdoms in this. Up in Northumbria, if you will, we're in King of All Britain. 2377 and 2217 are in there. In Mercia over here on the left, that's the A seed, what we're going to call the A seed camp, but it's got 3251 in there. That says Silver Imperium. And so it also has 3535. Baba just went there, and they are super, super strong with a big migration, and 1473. Down here in Wessex at the bottom, we are in that camp with 1719 and 2650. How 606 as a Gold Imperium got two campmates is baffling. I have no idea how that happened. And then over here in East Anglia, we've got 2489 with a campmate of 2654. So that's how it broke out. And there's all kinds of speculations and different ways that you could work out the allies. 2377, super strong. All right. They are the strongest kingdom, if not one of the strongest kingdoms, with 1093. And it's super high spenders, busted good alliance, and they have crazy regeneration and speed ups. They've been waiting now for KvK, so they're refreshed, ready to go. They are, I would say, by far the strongest camp. And you could argue our camp in you could argue that our camp down here in Wessex and East Anglia with 2049 are the second strongest camp. And when you look at that, you look at this and say, okay, then that means over in the A seed camp with 3251, 1473, and 3535, they're probably the weakest, but they're still like really, really good. And so from there, it's like, okay, how do you set this thing up? And it creates a tough situation for matchmaking. So I appreciate everybody in Diplo for trying to figure that out. If 2377 and us allied, definitely would not be fair. If 2377 and 2049 allied, yeah, probably not going to be fair. And in all fairness, with the three kingdoms that we have, we're probably a little bit stronger than 2489 as a whole in East Anglia. But from that standpoint, though, if you put 2489 and 2654 with the Northumbria camp of 2377, I mean, it probably doesn't make much sense. But those are the kind of things that were being thrown out. And you know me, I don't really care what the Diplo is. I mean, you could stack us up with anybody. We take on the A seeds as allies. We wouldn't care. At least I wouldn't. And so credit to everybody for doing this, because this is how it all lines out. The announcement of the allies, boom, there you go. This is how the allies are going to be put together. Credit, I think Mao or somebody did this cool little graphic. That was a cool GIF that we did. So there's the stats. Northumbria, 2377. Obviously, we know how strong they are. 22.6 billion power, 3.7 trillion kill points, just off the charts. With 2217 as our campmates, with 12.1 billion power, 1 trillion kill points. So that's a total of 4.7 trillion kill points and 34.7 billion power. Now in Mercia, you can see that they tally up to 4.1 trillion kill points, 44 billion power, because they've got three they have three kingdoms in that camp, plus 3251, super strong. 3535 has now got a great migration in there, super strong. And then over here, you got East Anglia, 2489. has obviously had one of the best migrations we've seen. I did a video on it, I think in a live stream. And so they're running up their kill points to 3.7 trillion. It's wild at 17.8 billion power. And I don't even think they have a full alliance. So Mao and Arvix and all Eva and all the people over in 2049 doing a really good job of kind of rebuilding after 2049 went through a bit of a cleanse. So they're going to be campmates with 2654. And then you've got us down here, 19.6 billion power. We're nice and fat. We got to lose some weight. And we clock in at 2.8 trillion kill points. And then our campmates 1719, 1.2 trillion kill points. And then 2650, probably the weakest kingdom out of the whole matchmaking. But that's kind of how that thing sets up. So this is going to be the setup for KvK. It's going to be 2377 in Northumbria. And they're going to be allied with Mercia. So you got the strongest camp and by a little margin, the weakest camp in this KvK. That makes sense. So basically it's top left versus bottom right. And we're going to ally 2049, all the buddies over there that we have. It should be a lot of fun. And so basically you've got the strongest and the weakest against the second strongest and the third strongest. And so from that standpoint, probably the only way you could divide this up to have a balanced KvK. And so it should be a lot of fun. Zone 5 fights should be a lot of fun. I know these guys over here in Mercia with 3251. I know those guys really, really well. Liat and those guys had a really good migration. Billix over there. There's other players over there. So this Zone 5 should be a lot of fun. And then 2049, buckle up, because when you go head to head with 2377 in this Zone 5, it should make for an interesting KvK. Everybody's going to get a lot of fighting. It's going to be a ton of fun. And we'll see if we've got enough on our end to upend the monster that is 2377. So that's your matchup. That's your allies. And I think overall, it's probably it's not perfect, but it's probably the best way you could do this. Otherwise, there's just really no other balanced KvK when it comes to that, and that's what we deal with when it comes to this matchmaking. And people can complain about matchmaking all they want. It's not easy to do, and there's other factors in it. Now, the game did say in their recent update that they're gonna disclose some of those variables when it comes to matchmaking. So it will get better and better, and maybe there's some things behind the scenes that they see, whether activity or whether it's with recent performances or things that they can take as developers and go put the matchmaking stuff situation together. But overall, I'd say pretty fair. I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun and probably the best way and only way you could really divide up this KvK. So we'll be allied 2489. We're going to have all that fun stuff to go in there. Obviously, you got other streamers in here that are going to be having a lot of fun. You've got obviously Billick over here in 3251. You got Ihara now that's in 2489. You got Chiskel who's up in 2377. It should be a blast. Plenty of coverage for the community. We're gonna all give it to you. We're all gonna have a ton of content, a ton of live streams, and we should have a lot of fun. So leave a comment down in the comment section of YouTube. I want to get your thoughts on this KvK. I want to get how the matchmaking is. When this first came out on the matchmaking, everybody had said, hey, this is probably 606 and 2489, probably ally. That's probably the fairest thing. I didn't really see much of an argument to anything else. But if there is some things that I'm missing maybe, then let me know, because I think we're sitting pretty good in this KvK. We're going to have a ton of fighting, and the Kingsland is going to be wild. And so we're in King of All Britain. We start that next week. Should be a lot of fun. If you enjoy this video, throw a like on here. Consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. And for more great content, be sure to look out and join my Discord. The link is in the description, and you can stay on top of all the different things that we do. We're doing our best of the best series right now. We just released the Archer video on the top 10 Archer players in all of Rock, and we're going to do the same thing for all the other rallies that are going on. And so be sure to join that Discord and join the community. It's a ton of fun. We can't wait to see you there. And with that, everybody have a great day, broskies.